Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining me. My name is Yvonne McBride. This is Yvonne McBride Lit Life, and in this space, we motivate, we encourage, we support women of the diaspora to reach for and plan the life of their dreams. If you are a woman in transition, if any of this applies to you, please take this moment to subscribe to this channel. I'll wait for a few seconds for you to do that. Thank you very much. Today, if you consider yourself an outdoorsy person, if you like hiking, if you like adventures in nature, this is the chat for you. I want to bring my guest to you. Lisa Laidlow, please introduce yourself to the people.
Hello, my name is Lisa, and I will be hiking the Appalachian Trail from Georgia to Maine in March. I am a mother of three children, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Yvonne, for inviting me on your platform.
So I'm excited that you are here first because I don't consider myself a outdoorsy diva, right? I don't consider myself a hiker. I cannot hike long distances, but I do love nature, right? I do enjoy being out getting that vitamin D.
Yes.
And I wanted to talk about people who are making transitions of their life, reaching for their dreams, and not necessarily everyone wants to leave the United States, right? Not necessarily or aren't able to.
Yes.
So I think it's important for us to look for different ways that we can find joy in our lives, center ourselves, and just escape, when we need to, a little respite when we need to. And for me, some of that includes taking long walks. I've been looking more and more at your videos. We met, for those of you all who do not know, we met in Morocco
Yes.
on Exodus Summit trip meetup. And, Lisa was doing yoga out, and we were in the pool area, and she was doing yoga, and she was just breathing. And I seen her taking time, walking away from the group and taking time for herself to enjoy the elements while we were there. And then, after the trip was over, we stayed connected, and I've been following her platform ever since. So I thought it was a good idea for her to come to introduce her to you, and so we can join her on her journey. We'll talk about the journey later. But before we get to all of that, Lisa, please tell us, give us one of your earliest memories of being outside, right?
Yes. So it started with my dad. And oftentimes he was an outdoors person. So we went horseback riding, we went camping, we went fishing, we went walking and hiking. And so that kind of planted the seed
Yes.
that is what I am today. And even then, it was just something about being outside in the backcountry away from the society, that we go to work and everything is busy. And obviously now I have gone back to that life and have been entrenched in that life for some years now. So that's kind of like where it started at with my dad. So shout out to my dad. Yeah.
So she was kind of humble in her introduction. You
Mhm.
are also a yoga instructor.
Yes, I'm also a yoga instructor and have done some yoga with younger kids. I've also done I'm going to call them elderly population, but the mature population. And I've actually done some yoga with my girlfriends as well out in the park.
Okay.
Yes.
So what is it about being outside, right? What is it about nature, being outdoors that speaks to you?
So for me, it takes me outside of the day-to-day norm and going to work and, being in contact with people all day long. I am a nurse, and so I am always in some capacity helping others, and being outside, being in the backcountry has allowed me some solace, some solitude, and it really, for me, it reboots my system in terms of just how I feel, building my endorphins, and just a safe space for me. It's been a safe space for me. So,
Right, because when we talk about, I say in the description, we're going to talk about grounding techniques. And for people who don't know what that phrase means, it's basically just becoming one with the environment, with the elements that you are in, whether it be the earth, hiking, whether it be wading in the water, in the river, which is my form of like meditation, right?
beautiful.
Because I find it hard sometimes to sit still and meditate. So like an activity, a walking activity, or my favorite, I'm a beach girl, right? So being immersing myself in water helps me think clearly, right? So I feel like it aligns my chakras. I'm assuming that's the same with you when you're on a hike or when you're doing yoga.
Yes, absolutely. Feel at peace and, one with nature. Also, being out there, taking some time to take my shoes off and do some grounding, just in the dirt, and allowing some of that. We keep our shoes on all day long, which is really not a natural thing.
Right.
Often in other cultures, people walk around barefooted all day. So taking time to remove some of those toxins through grounding, and so yeah, basically it brings me a great bit of joy and a lot of peace. Always excited to new hike and venture out, oftentimes by myself. I have a group now sometimes that I go out with, that I hike with here in Maryland. Oftentimes I am I do tend to, here in Maryland, do solo hikes. So
So how long have you been like on a hiking journey?
I would say it's been consistently the last 5 to 6 years.
Okay.
Um, Definitely, yeah. I've always been an outdoors person, just riding my bike. So I cycle, and I ride my bike. I do yoga. So just being outside in general has been most of my life. But the hiking portion, definitely about 5 or 6 years.
So have you seen, since you've been doing this since, since you were younger with your dad. So, but have you seen like in recent years with all the new organizations of Black and outdoors and outdoorsy divas and all these new um, BIPOC, right?
Yeah.
Organizations that are promoting being outdoor, being a healthy lifestyle, being part of your healthy lifestyle choice. Have you seen an uptake of people, or has it been the same? Like, do you view it as the same?
I think post COVID, there was a surge of people, Black people in particular, that
Yeah.
were outdoors. I mean, I was outside one day and it must have been about 100 bikes, young kids. I was like so excited because I was like, listen, this is
Yeah.
grew up. So to see them outside in a large group, just, enjoying outdoors, that was wonderful. In the hiking community and being on the trail, there has been a lot of groups, new groups that have come about. And I will say for me, when I'm hiking, I've seen more Black people, more Black women, more Black men outside hiking. And
Right.
it's bring me like, I'm like super excited to see that. Getting out and not being scared, not being scared, because for some it would be a fear, to be um, in the woods. A lot of times you don't have any cell service.
Yes.
And so that is a thought, and that is something to consider, and what you want to bring on your, even your day hikes. If you're going out on an hour or two, what do you need in terms of safety as a woman, as a Black woman? What do you need? And so, but I have seen, I would say the numbers, just from my vantage point, I would say the numbers have gone up some in terms of seeing Black people out hiking. Yes.
Especially when, you know, traditionally it has been believed that it's something that you know we
Yes.
don't do, right? Right,
Yes.
it's something that for them other people to do, right? Be outdoors and hiking, and
Yeah.
even like, you know, you see more people living like van life, and you see more people camping, and you see more people, you know, more of us now doing it, when traditionally, especially in the spaces of like trailers, you know, things like that.
And that's so
um
interesting too, because like you said, it's been said that, but we were doing those things, road tripping and, van lifing and RVing for centuries now. We've been doing,
Right. And
myself.
they don't have the monopoly. They don't own, you know what I mean? They don't own those spaces. So I'm glad that more people, more of us are doing it, and we're doing it in groups.
Yes,
So that's an exciting thing.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
for our health as well. You know what I mean? For all of our health issues, you know, being a nurse is part of a whole health practice, right?
It's part of the holistic portion,
Yes.
health and mind, body, and spirit and soul, taking care of ourselves, not just the outer shell, but that internal, mental, emotional, it also helps that as well. So,
Right.
and it also is going to aid in if you want to losing weight and staying as healthy as
It,
possible.
exactly. It won't hurt. It
It's
won't hurt, right?
not going to hurt, no.
Right. And you say in one of your videos, like, nature gives us so much. You know what I mean? Nature gives us so much back. Can you you know,
Yeah,
just expound on what that means for you?
sure. We if we if we watch nature, we learn so much from it. And you know during the season where things die back, and in the winter when things are more quiet, is when
Yeah.
we should be you know taking time for ourselves to sit and meditate, or whatever that is for you that brings you that peace, but not just on the go. And also a time to I'll bring up the fasting as well, not
Yes.
just for food, but fasting from the stimulation. We have so much stimulation daily that's just
Yes.
social media, right? We have
TV, television, everything.
challenges.
Like,
We have challenges with not consuming these things. So during these seasons, we can take time to eat lighter and meditate and come away from the television and all of this social media. So yes, nature is our teacher. And obviously in the summertime and when it gets warm, oftentimes if you have 4 seasons, we have, sometimes there are times to pick up the work and do
yeah.
the necessary things to move those dreams to where they need to be. And so taking note of those things in nature can also help us in our daily lives.
So we have some some people have joined the chat. Some people have come into the room. I want to acknowledge them. Hi, Angela.
Hi.
Hey, sis. She says she's a little under
Hi,
the weather.
Angela.
Leave when you feel sleepy, lady. We appreciate you taking time to come here.
Yes.
Thriving on enough. Hello. Hi, Crystal
Hi,
or
Crystal.
Crystal. Hello. How are you? Thriving on enough says I was an avid
Ooh,
hiker for about 25 years, but now I just go to the gym.
amazing. I'm inspired. Wow.
So thriving on enough. What areas did you hike, Crystal? I have been dreaming of hiking the AT for
Go.
years. Someday.
Yes, do it. Let's
Okay.
talk. Talk.
Okay, so let's that's a natural transition into what we're going to get into. Um, all right. So
Hmm.
you have been preparing for your dream hike. Hold on, she says. Oh, sorry, no, I live in California. Oh, so those are some of the trails, I'm
Yes.
assuming. Also, if you have any questions for Lisa, please put them in the chat so we can get to them. But I appreciate you all being here. Please like the video and share with other outdoorsy divas, people who you think might like the video. But yes, please don't forget to like the video. So, okay, Thriving on Earth says lots of states and natural parks in California. Yes.
I gotta come to Cali, check it out.
Okay, so I have been dreaming of hiking the AT for years. Lisa, tell us what was the inspiration behind this dream hike for you?
Okay, so it started actually, Yvonne, when we went on the Morocco trip.
Okay.
To the summit. So, and I didn't know it then, but I started to think about a sabbatical and taking time off of work and what that looked like specifically for me. And so, the traveling piece I love and also plan to do at some point, but I wanted something that was fit my personality, was adventurous, and spoke to my spirit. And the thought came about 2 years ago about the trail, Appalachian Trail. And I had the thought and I was like, it was so big to me that I was like, I don't think that's something I'm going to be able to do. So I kind of left it. And then I revisit it. It came back. It came back up for me last year. And I went on YouTube and I started doing the research and start binge watching videos on the Appalachian Trail. That took me to another level of wanting to do it. And that's when I decided this is what you're going to do. You are going to take a year, prepare yourself to properly, in terms of gear and all the things that you need, hike the Appalachian Trail. And so here we are. And, I am a few weeks out from starting my journey on the Appalachian Trail. So that's basically kind of how we got here. I started watching videos, I started doing research, and I started reading books, lots of books on the trail. And that gave me a different insight than the videos because it was very personal. People were very personal about their journeys. And I guess one of the things that stuck out to me was the trail can be romanticized. You can
like everything else. Yes.
Yeah, you're like, oh, yes. So I started to read books about the grit and grind of the trail, this real life experience that you can have that didn't come without some resilience and some pain.
Right.
And, some mental fortitude. And so once I got to that space of recognizing that this isn't going to be a little pretty, trek. This is going to be.
It's not a day trip. This is not a day trip.
Right. And this is going to be life skills 101. Like, up. So I have been preparing myself for a year and I am super excited. One thing I wanted to mention was I met a sister through Instagram. She reached out to me because she saw that I was going to be hiking the trail, and she had hiked the trail. I believe it was in 2023.
Okay.
And her name is Dragonfly. That's her trail name. I'm sorry. Her trail Dragonfly. Well, she got together about 11 women who had hiked the trail on a Zoom, and we just finished Black women who hiked the trail.
That's dope.
And when I tell you that my morale, like it really built my morale and made me feel like I was just
like, I can do this. Let's go.
I was.
Yes.
They were, like to even bring them together because a lot of them live out of the country. One of them lives in Portugal. Everybody's living their life. So it just meant a lot to have so many women in one space come together and talk about the trail and let me know that it's possible. Like you can do it and we got your back. Super grateful.
So you said a lot of things that I want to get into. First thing you was talking about was you wanted to take a sabbatical, right? And you wanted to figure out how doing that would fit your life and your likes, right? Your passions.
Yeah.
Um, so especially during this time, and then we're not going to get into it, but during this time of turbulence
Yeah.
in the States,
Yeah.
a lot of people are looking for ways to escape, to get out, to leave permanently, or
Mhm.
just, taking some time out for yourself. How to get through these 2 or 4 or however long this is going to be. Um, how to center ourselves and how to make sure that we are taking care of our mind, bodies, and spirits and
Mhm.
not letting all of this stuff, right? Like you said, overstimulation, social media, on top of the political climate,
Yes.
how we don't let all of that unnerve us, right? Um, so yes, everyone, we say it every day. Oh, I wish I didn't have to do this work, all of these things that distract
Yes.
us and, make us become emotionally and mentally unwell, right?
Okay.
Um, how did you prepare? So once you realize I need to take some time, right? I need to do this for myself. How
Mhm.
did you financially prepare? Because how long will this take? How long will this hike take?
So there is no straightforward answer to that because I don't know. Well, let me start here. The elevation that I'm hiking is a lot different than what I've been hiking.
Okay.
That makes a huge difference in how quickly I get from one state to the next. The average time to hike the Appalachian Trail is around 5 to 6 months.
Okay.
That's the average. If you do it in 3 to 4 months, that's pretty quick.
So the women who you gather with, what was the average time for them?
So one girl took 8 months.
Okay. So she took her time.
She took her time, and that's what we call hike your own hike.
Okay.
And the others were about 5 to 6 months as well. Was about 5 to 6 months. So we're looking at an average, I'm thinking 6 months. I
6.
prepared for
Mhm.
that's what I've prepared for.
Okay.
And yes, that's what I prepared for. And what was your other question
So
again?
you're a nurse though. How did you ask for time off for these months? Like how did you prepare financially? Did you save money on and if you did you take time off?
So I took this year to save money. And from the time I decided that I was going to hike the trail, I started carving out a budget just for the trail.
Okay.
I am working right now for an agency. And so I don't plan to come back to this job. So I did let them know that when my date was for leaving. So I'm basically quitting the job.
Okay.
And yes, that's the plan for the job.
Are
And
you letting go your place? Are you in a house or apartment?
so I do not right now. I'm not owning a home or
Okay.
anything. I'm actually inside of someone's
Okay.
house, a friend of mine's house, and so I basically worked it out where um, I won't have to worry about so much my living expenses as far as there are some things here that I have to take care of
Right.
and already budgeted for that and put away for that and given her money for those things. I have paid up my phone bill and the individual bills, health insurance. I've also paid for that up for the 6 months. And so, in my car, I do not, I have a used car.
Okay.
So I don't have to worry about, paying a car payment. I will be stopping my insurance and I will have someone like, start my car and things like that. Um, so yes, that is
Okay,
the,
so you talked about another one of your videos, which
yeah.
if you want to follow, um, Adventures of the Soul. We'll get into that name in a second. But if you want to follow Adventures of the Soul, Breathe and Adventures of the Soul, her information is under this video. I'll also post it in the chat. But you also talk about as you're preparing, right?
Mm-hmm.
How this trip will teach you about yourself, right?
Yes.
What you will learn during this journey. So at the precipice of taking this trip,
Yes.
what have you learned about like making the decision, right? Making the decision to do all these things that you just explained, making the decision to quit your job, making the decision, like, how did you feel about that?
The time is now. The moment is now.
Yes.
Okay. And my son said, take a big bet on yourself. You get one spin.
Yes, son. Yes.
So that is basically, in a nutshell, kind of like, let's do this.
Yes.
Let's
When
make
if
it.
not now, when you gonna do it? When you gonna
Right.
do it?
So I just decided that I didn't want to keep talking about it. I just wanted to have this conversation with people. I wanted to put into action the things that I really want to do. And that is what I've been doing. It's been a long journey in terms of buying gear. And what I will say is I did not know how much I did not know, because this will be my first backpacking trip. I've
Okay.
never done a backpacking trip. And what I mean by that is that everything that I own, everything that I need will be on my back. And that's a different level of hiking. And so I wanted to, level up. I want to see what it's like to be outside and camp and cook my food and be self-sufficient, right? So,
Live off the land. This is the
live
time
off
to
it, because
prepare.
this is what
Listen.
I've been wanting to do. I've been like, I want my tiny house. I want to live off grid and
Yes.
van life. And, these things have been coming to me. So, here I am. And I'm like, okay, I didn't realize how much I needed to learn. And I'm like, even down to the minute, I'm like, okay, I get this guy. Oh my goodness. Just picking
Yeah.
out the stove and things that, just going on a weekend hiking trip. It's a lot different. One, you have your car right there. You get in your car, go get some food, and so it's been a lot for me to learn in this year to prepare for the Appalachian Trail.
And when we talk about like, when we gonna do it, if when your son gave you that encouragement to go
Yes.
forward, like in the introduction, I talk about us living out our dreams, right? Us, especially us who, we bear the burdens of so many people in addition to our family. Now, they want us to come out the house to support them during this time of whatever. We're not doing it. But but it's taking time to actualize one of your dreams, taking time to say it's not too late, whatever age you are. Even if you don't think you prepare, like taking time to say, I can do this, to
Yes.
to stop putting it off, right? Whatever that might, to walk through fear and stop putting it off. And I'm applauding you. The people in the chat are applauding you. Thriving on this says, I am so excited for you. I've also gone on a few backpacking trips with groups. You will love it.
Thank you. Wow.
Crystal says, you get one life. Yes. Live it, girl. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. You must do it now, because as you age, it's not that you won't be able to, but if you will be participating in other activities and won't want to do it. Right. And you don't know what, how life and
Yeah.
life. And so you don't know if you'll ever have another opportunity to do this. So yes, we are applauding you.
Thank you.
We will be tracking you on your journey.
Thank you so much.
But it's important for us to do these things for ourselves. And I'm glad that the community reached out to you and gave you their resources. And, like we said, I know that gave you a big push, like, I'm ready.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
And let's talk about you getting ready.
Hey, where you want to
We
start?
touched on a little bit like, okay, so what does it take to condition yourself? Because baby, I was like looking at your videos like,
Woo!
why are you in a tent in the winter? Why is snow
You
on the
got
ground?
the
Why are
wrong
you beginning
person.
this trip in the winter? Because it's still winter. What is happening? Like, you couldn't wait till summer. I need to know.
Look,
We get into the logistics because baby, I need to know. This couldn't wait
okay.
till summer, spring. You couldn't wait. Why
So,
did you how where are you beginning the trip? We need all the logistics, right?
okay.
So
So
we'll start
I
with
will.
where.
So I will. So I will start with, you know, the conditioning portion is optional. You know, some people condition and some people just go out there and just start walking, and they condition while they're there. I decided that I wanted to, what we call in the hiker community, they call it a shakedown hike, and it's basically a prep hike. It's to take all of your gear, everything that you're going to take on the trail, and do a mock hike. And so I started out doing hiking every day possible that I could hike. I would go out and hike. I do have a trail that's about 15-20 minutes out from where I live at. And that was like my hike when I get off of work around 4:30, and I couldn't get anywhere else. I would go over to Switchback Hike in Patapsco State Park, and I would hike that hike. It's about 6-7 miles. And I actually took some time to write down some more challenging hikes that I could do. And I have been hiking not every day. I have been doing some type of workout, conditioning, biking, cycling to keep my body in a flexible, mobile state to
Yes.
get to this point. I hike in different conditions because you don't know what you're going to get on the Appalachian Trail. It's
Okay.
in the mountains, and in Georgia, you could get snow right now. You can get snow in March, and so you want to be prepared for any weather. Now, there are some conditions where obviously would not be safe, and I probably would get a hostel or something like that to stay in.
Okay. Have you
I
mapped those out? Have you mapped different locations out where you might have to take a break?
Yeah, so I have a map. I have
Okay.
a guide. It's called the AWOL guide, and every year it's a new one that comes out. And he pretty much maps out water sources. He maps out when you get to town, places you could take showers, and pretty much everything that a hiker might need is on this map. So I have been hiking in the snow. I did do Annapolis Rocks, and I did that in the snow. That was actually pretty fun. It was very cold outside, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot because there were some things that I did not have
That
with
you know
me
you need now.
that I know I need. That's why you do the shakedown hike. So you're like,
Got
okay,
you.
now I know I need to revamp and figure out what it is that I'm missing, or maybe I had too much weight on my back, and I need to. That's another thing that we do. We want to be as light as possible because it's going to be a matter of whether you want to hike or you want to camp. If you're hiking, you want to be light. I'm not saying ultra light. It's a thing called ultra light where people go out with like 10 pounds on their back, but they don't, it's not much in that pack. So I'm gearing myself to be a light hiker. I want to be light. I think my journey is going to be a lot more enjoyable, and it's going to be, I wouldn't say easy, but it's going to make it more doable in terms of hiking high elevations. So I've been back and forth with my pack and what I have inside of my pack, what I really need and what I really want for a comfortable um, through hike. I know for me, I'm a cold sleeper, so I want to be warm. And I also know that I want to sleep really well. So I purchased they, they have something called the R value, which means basically just how far off the ground, like you have a pad or you
Okay.
want air mattress. So just recently I did a deciding factor on which one I wanted to take. Did I want to take the pad with the lesser R value or the mattress? And I'm definitely going with the air mattress with the higher R value. I want to sleep pretty well as on trail. So that's just a couple of things, you know. And then you have your food bag. For me, I'm a vegan, so I have a special diet. So I had to create all my meals and make all my meals, create resupply boxes. That took a lot of energy. Right now, I'm looking back and I'm like, that's probably took the most energy, dehydrating food and creating my own meals. I could have gone.
You dehydrated your own food? This sounds like, wait, back up. We just read, I have a reading group, Read and Wonder book club. We just read Parable, right? Parable of the Soul.
Parable of the Soul.
This sounds like their trip. This sounds like the track. They needed these. They needed this. They needed to take one of these. This sounds like a survivalist journal. What? You dehydrated your own food?
I know it. Listen, it took. I did it. So I could have went and got backpacking meals. I'm also kind of like to be. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on backpacking meals, so I looked at the other side and what it would take to create my own meals and box everything up. And, you know, I decided to go ahead and do that. That took me about 3 weeks to complete all of my boxes.
Wow.
And I am going to be having 2 of my friends, so I'm super grateful for. Benny and Vicky, they're going to be sending out my resupply boxes for me on trail.
Okay. All right. So you don't have to lug all of this out in one time. So you're taking one backpack?
Just one backpack. And I will the goal is to have 3 to 4 days of food supply with you at a time. Because you don't get to a trail, you don't get to a town until about 4 days out. So I'll have about 4 days of food with me. My pack is coming in at about 22 pounds right now. That's my latest. And I am grateful because that's pretty light. If I can keep it there, that would be amazing.
You have to be in shape. Listen, I can't even take a carry-on anymore on my backpack. When I travel, my back, my legs, everything. You have to be in shape. You are a healthy woman. You understand? If you're gonna look all that and walk. So you're walking or biking?
I'm walking.
Okay.
I will be hiking.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. So that's what I've been training with, about 20 pounds on my back. That's what I've been training with my day pack. I've had about 20 pounds in it. So that's good. It's been making sure that I'm used to that weight. And I'm hoping to keep it around no more than 25. I don't want to go above 25.
Okay.
And that's pretty light. That's pretty light.
Thriving on that says, I hope you pack a light solar shower. It's an amazing experience to enjoy a warm shower in the woods. I didn't know that was a thing.
That's a thing. I do have used that on my day camping or weekend camping trips. I don't plan on taking one. I do have a hygiene regimen that I plan on following. A lot different.
Well, you're gonna be by yourself. It's a solo trip.
But it's gonna be a lot of people out there though. Come on.
Well, y'all listen. If anybody trekking this trail, y'all all gonna have the same smells. It's all right.
I was okay. Look, you took the words. I was gonna say it's the vibe of the trail. Everybody knows it. It's unsaid to the out in the matrix, but yes, everybody. After hiking for 4 days, I had my little Dr. Bronner's. I can go in my tent and do my thing, make sure the parts are good, and I'm back out there.
Yes.
So
this is like a survivalist manual. Okay. Yeah. So I know you're documenting it on YouTube, right? Are you taking a journal? Are you gonna be Lauren Olamina for real? Are you taking a journal? I think this should be a book. I think at the end, like you should put this together.
Yes.
So how are you documenting the trip?
So I'm going to document obviously on YouTube, and I will be posting some still photos like on my Instagram as well.
Okay.
But the long form content will be on YouTube, and what was I going to say? Oh, I am taking a journal. I am going to be taking it's called Write in the Rain journal. It's
Okay.
supposed to be waterproof. And I am a writer. I like to have a tangible, because everybody was like, well, just, you have your phone. Yes, but something about that tangible book,
Yes.
being able to write
Something
things.
about pen to paper to open up your thought process.
Yes, and making those things a real thing. So I am going to be bringing a journal for sure. So,
Okay.
and you got to put, I think you got to put breathe. Well, for the name, you got to put breathe Adventures of the Soul.
This is your direct link for
Okay.
your YouTube.
Okay.
It just comes up here. That's your name. You change
Yes.
the name, but this is the link.
Thank you. Yeah.
So this is the link to her YouTube channel. If you click on it, you will be able to access and track her journey as she goes through this 5 to 6 month
Ooh.
hiking trail.
Yeah.
The link is also under this video. Hi Marissa. Hi Miss Price. We've been talking about Lisa's upcoming journey to trek the Appalachian Trail. It's going to take like 5 to 6 months. She's going to start in Georgia and it ends where?
It ends in Maine.
It ends in Maine.
Yes.
That's a long walk, baby. The long walk. The long walk. She is walking. She is not biking. This is a long walk. Thriving on enough, and of course, run around at least one close.
I definitely heard that one. Yeah.
Yes. You will laugh at yourself decades from now. Great memories, baby. Yes. Do it all. Do it all. Marissa says it is inspiring. It is. So, I agree. Yes, listen. Be one with nature. Be naked, skinny fit. Do all of that. Do all of that. Do you have water purification tablets?
Yes. So
Girl.
I do have aqua tabs. I also have a Soya Squeeze, which is a water filter. And I will be keeping that with me because the water is like, you need that water. And I have electrolytes as well that I'm gonna be utilizing. I have in my pack as well.
I can't. It sounds so much like terrible. So how long what is your longest hiking trip up to date to this day?
Yeah, so I posted it on my channel, on my community tab. I did 20 miles, and that's been my longest trek. I did it with a group about 6, one guy, and was it 3 women? A black hiking group. So the guy,
that was 20 miles.
20 miles, and it took us 8 hours.
Okay, so that was your longest.
That's been my longest.
What's the mileage on this trip that you're about to embark on?
So the mileage is 2,200 miles total. You're looking at 15 to 20 mile days. You got to ramp up. You can't go out. Well, from what I've been told, it's better to go out and start slow.
Okay.
Get your body in. We call them get your hiker legs. It takes a while to get your hiking legs, and start out with the approach trail, which starts at Amalacola Falls. That's an 8-mile hike up to Springer Mountain, and Springer Mountain is where the actual trail starts. And
that's in Georgia?
That's in Georgia.
Okay.
Springer Mountain. And so the goal is to not go out and get too excited in the beginning. I don't want to burn out. My first days, I don't know what it'll be like, but it won't be 20-mile days. The goal is to get there. And because I've been hiking here as much as possible, I know I can do an easy 10. I can do an easy 12. So I'm going to start there, and I'm for sure to get to 15 and 20-mile days.
This is so exciting. I wouldn't listen. No, hiking is not my ministry. So I will be watching this with great interest. Kimberly says, hello, Yvonne, and your guest hostess. I have been listening, and nature trail walks are good looking at nature. Yes. we've talked in the beginning how, we look to nature to, regulate our systems, our nervous systems. Lisa has said how nature gives back to her all of her life, has done that all of her life. We both look to her hiking, me just taking walks, just breathing, right? Being able to take time out of your day to do that, how it regulates your system. So yes, all that to say that yes, anytime you can be in nature is good.
Yes.
Christelle says, technical question that I've been struggling with. How do you make the final decision on your tent? I'm considering the tent you bought or the Z packs. How do you decide? Great question.
Yes, very good question, Crystal. So I took into consideration a few things for me were because I'm tweaking my pack in terms of weight. I wanted to know how much it weighed, what it took to put up a tent, because there can be some tents that are really easy and then there are some that you have to take, you know, a nice bit of time to put up. So how easy is it to put up? And for me, I chose the Durston X Mid Pro one. It's a trekking pole tent. And so just means that I wish I had my trekking poles right here. Just means that the poles that I'll use to walk with, those are what I use to actually stake my tent. Well, not stake my tent, I'm sorry, to actually put my tent up. And it's a very easy process. It's a very light tent, and it is a one person tent. So some people go with the two-person tent because it gives you a little bit more room in terms of making sure your pack is inside of your tent and that doesn't get wet. I also took that into consideration. I have a small vestibule that sits outside of the tent wall, and it allows me to put my pack right in that area. So there are so many tents out on the market, and obviously price can also come into the to be a factor in choosing what tent you want. I did go with a luxury, a mansion kind of tent because I'm like, this is where I'm gonna be staying at for 6 months. So we going top tier. So
Not the Lux,
I
not the
decided
Lux
I was gonna,
track.
yeah, I decided I was gonna spend a little bit of money on my home and where
Yes, on the
I
bed, on the home. Yes.
this is what we spent our money. So, and grateful that a lot of my family also helped me purchase a lot of my gear as well. So, reaching out to family and, getting them excited. And if someone can help you, that's always a great thing. So, those were some of the things I considered when choosing my tent. Z-Packs is a great tent as well. So, that comes in really high that came in really high on my list as well. The Durston, I chose it. It is it's a trekking pole tent, but the material, the Tyvek, I'm sorry, it's Dyneema. The
Okay.
material that I chose is a little bit different than some of the other tents, and it's a little bit more sturdy in terms of ruggedness and being able to handle different conditions, weather conditions, as well as keeps the rain out. You don't need a rain fly for it, and so yeah, those are some of the reasons why I chose that tent.
Crystal says you spent the most.
I
Yeah.
spent the most. I did.
Especially you're gonna need your rest. You're gonna need that air bed.
I'm gonna need all of it. So
Yes. She said
definitely.
it's the most expensive on the market. Okay, I think I might get it because I don't want to buy a garbage tent and then have to replace it. So she already knows. She's in the knowing. This
Yeah,
wasn't one of your
I see.
community members. Just spend up front.
Definitely. So far, it's been worth the money. I did an outside in the winter camping trip a few weeks ago in about 19 degrees, and I went to Cunningham State Park in Maryland and utilized my tent and everything that I plan on my cook system. I laid it out. The only thing that I'm not proficient in yet is hanging a bear bag. So I'm gonna spend these last couple of days hanging a bear bag, figuring it
What
out.
is a bear bag?
So the bag your food bag is the bag that you want to hang to keep away from the bears.
Baby,
She said, baby,
there are bears on this trip.
please stop.
I did not consider wild animals on this trip. How do you prepare?
You look. The grace of God. No, yes, it's bears. I believe when you get up into the whites, into the mount, up into Vermont and Maine, there are moose up there, like snakes and
Do you have
rodents, mice, and all kinds of out there. So you gotta hang that bag. If you want your food, you gotta hang that bag. And I have not figured. Let me say, I have not gone out this week. Tomorrow and a few more days, I'm gonna go out and go to the park and practice throwing my line and hanging my food bag. So, yeah,
this is an adventure for real. Adventures of the soul. This is an adventure for real. Oh my God. Okay.
Yes.
So, you said this. I described it. We described it as a solar. A solo sojourn, right? But is anyone joining you on any leg of the trip?
So my brother is planning to come out and hike with me. He's in Atlanta, so he's planning on coming out and doing some miles with me, probably in Georgia.
Okay.
Maybe
so on your first legs.
Yeah, on the first leg in
that
that southern area. Obviously, I live in Maryland, so the trail comes through Maryland. I have a few people that I work with that are interested in coming out. Some of the people that I'm a part of the hiking group, they're interested. So they like, look, reach out. We come out and do some miles with you. And so I'm excited about that. And I have not put it out to my larger family because we have a family page on Facebook, and a lot of them live in the southern states, Tennessee and North Carolina. I should have already putting it out, but I've kind of been going through the motions with a lot of things, but I'm going to put it out and see if anybody wants to come out, meet up, feed me some food because I'm going to be hungry. Even with the food I have, I'm going to be
hungry. You eating that dehydrated food.
Hiker hunger is a real thing. That's just what I heard. So yeah, I am going to be putting that out to my family. So far it looks like a few people are going to come out and hike with me in some different sections. I believe, once I get up into the whites, which is Vermont and Connecticut and Maine, that's when it kind of drops off. The trail is the most challenging when you get out there. And so even though you're close to the end, it's important to stay humble because this is where it's going to really test you at. And obviously the whole trail is going to be pretty challenging.
Arduous. Yes.
Arduous. Yes.
That's the word.
Thank you.
That is the word.
That is the word. But what I've heard is when you get into the whites, that's when
the challenge comes. And you're gonna be tired. You're gonna be tired by the time you get up here.
You're tired, but you have your trail legs, so you are prepared, but it's going to be challenging. So
do you have to go through Pennsylvania? Or are you on the west or the east coast for going through Pennsylvania?
You west, I believe.
I think you come through here because we have
you're in Pittsburgh,
is known as used to be known as the Paris of the Appalachian.
Yeah.
So I know people come through bike. There's trails here to go.
You're in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah. Okay. So when you get here, I'll be looking for you. I'll bring you some food. I got a great vegan restaurant.
Okay.
I will bring you some food. Okay. I will be, I'll be following you.
You'll do the trail magic.
Yes. But we're gonna stay in touch.
Definitely.
Listen, you can lay here if you need to rest. You can lay here
grateful
for free, and but I believe the trail comes through here. Yeah.
Yes.
But that won't be for some months, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Crystal says, I love this interview. It's fun to see how others react. It doesn't sound scary until we speak it out loud. So thank you. I like this interview too. If you agree with Crystal, please give this video a like. We are having a good time here talking with Lisa. Please share it with other outdoorsy divas, people who like the outdoors, people who like to hike, people who like to commune with nature. Please share this video and please subscribe if you have not yet. I appreciate it.
And I just want to say too, like I plan on having some fun out there. Like you probably gonna have singing and dancing and just enjoying some of the. I know I talked a lot about the challenging moments, but there are going to be some amazing views. I mean, at 3,000 foot elevation, the views are going to be amazing, and the sunsets and sunrises are going to be beautiful. So
my god brother, he hikes a lot, and he's back and forth to West Virginia. But when he, takes pictures of his hikes and the views from West Virginia, oh, they are amazing.
And they are amazing. West Virginia, yes.
Virginia. We already talked about you skinny dipping and all of this.
About skinny dipping, we did.
Yes, but go ahead.
Actually, Virginia is the largest portion of the trail.
Okay.
It covers about 516 miles. So they call it the Virginia Blues. So when you get there, it's almost like, am I ever going to leave Virginia? Because I've been here for a long time. I'm ready to go. So
I believe it. It's the longest when you driving too. When you driving south, it seems like you are forever in Virginia. So yes, I can imagine walking through it.
Yes. So
and can you imagine, like, this is tangent, but like we have roads and things now. Can you imagine being enslaved and then escaping and then having to figure your way out from a North Star and going through? I cannot, like, for real. The ancestors were on it.
Out. And they will be with me on trail.
Yes. Because you got trails now and it's still going to be hard. Can you imagine if we didn't have roads and trails and you had to make your way through thick?
Girl. Yes.
She says, Crystal says she'll be your trail angel. Yes, I will when you get to Pittsburgh. How are you going to make it fun? Trail days, challenges. Will you like to have, I don't even know what this is.
What to do? Tramily. Yeah.
Tramily. Do you have a trail name? She is a hiker for real. Yeah. Okay, with the real questions.
So I'm waiting to get I'm excited about my trail name. Definitely excited about that.
It can't be adventure. No, it has to be short.
Well, the thing is, a lot of times people get it from something that they see you doing on trail. Maybe that's unique to you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Snail and turtle and road runner. They got, all kinds of names. One of the girls that was on the Zoom with me, her name was Crocs.
Okay.
Crocs. And so
she had Crocs.
Somehow she ended up with some type of Crocs. I don't know, but so I'm excited about the trail name, and I'm also excited about meeting people and, conversing with people, hopefully interviewing some people for, on my channel.
Yes.
But yes, I would like to have a tramily. I do tend to come in and out.
Family. I'm slow. Tramily family. Okay. All right, I
tend to come in and out, and I just mean that I tend to hike with people and then not hike with people, and if I choose, oftentimes you'll get a tramily, and from what I've seen on YouTube videos, you get a tramily, and you don't always hike with them because everybody hikes at a different pace. So oftentimes you'll have a destination that you decide that you want to meet at.
Okay.
So I am excited about a tramily and a trail name. And she said, how are you going to make it fun? I'm basically, my YouTube page will, it's pretty light. And so I plan on, I'm definitely going to have a song in mind. I'm definitely gonna have a song, and definitely when I hit that 100-mile, a lot of these markers gonna have a nice, a dance and just some fun.
Yes.
Keeping it.
We already went over, like you say, nature gives back to you, right? How that's your piece. How to be in silence and being, alone with your thoughts
Yes.
how that is your jam, right?
Yeah.
So that's benefit within itself. That's fun to you within itself.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. So,
So
thank you for the
so
questions, Crystal. Wonderful.
your name, Adventures of the Soul.
Yes.
Why did you name your channel that? And how does it relate to this trip? Like what do you
Yes.
feel at the end of this journey, this hike will teach you?
Ooh. So,
That's three questions, but yeah. Okay, let's start with Adventures of the Soul.
so I started with the brief came from the yoga. Initially, my channel was just yoga, and I was focusing on. I had just become a teacher and started teaching my classes, and I started putting the videos up on YouTube, and so everything is about the breath, right? We, in the moment, breathing is essential, right, to life, but it's also essential to our mental health, and if we aren't breathing right, you know our lives, our days and our lives can be very skewed and kind of dysfunctional. Oftentimes we don't know that we're not breathing correctly. So the breathing
Right.
from the yoga, and then the adventures were like, once I decided that I wanted my channel to expand a little bit in terms of what my channel was focusing on, and because I cycle a lot and hike a lot, I wanted to integrate that into my channel. So the adventures came from this idea of being outside, being excited, and sharing that with other people, and ultimately hoping to inspire someone, Black people, Black women, and men, to get out and hike more and bike more, whatever it is that you do. But to be outside and do those things. And the soul was me connecting with the elements, the air, water, fire, earth, and so and this is it's a soul journey. So the adventures of the soul, that's how that came about.
Yes, and doing this, embarking on this hike is your soul journey.
Yes, absolutely.
So at the end, right, when it's all complete, what do you hope to walk away with?
Hmm. I I hope to gain a level of, and I have already, but I believe that on this journey I will become even more of a compassionate person in terms of how I relate to others, and being able to give more grace and share more grace with others. But my connection to myself
Yes.
and learning myself more. Who am I? How, outside of um, raising my kids and you know, the nurse. Who am I outside of that? And I don't have this one thing that I want to take away. I believe that some of what I want, or some of what I'm going to gain, I don't have a grasp on yet because I haven't
Yes.
taken that journey yet. Um, but that's some of the things that I'm looking forward to.
Because the road will teach you, right? Different things that you never expected.
Exactly. Yes.
But knowing who you are, that's what transition is about. When we strip away what society says we are and what we've been conditioned to believe
Hmm.
are important. Who are you at the core, right? Of course you love being a mother. Of course love you appreciate your job, right? But who are you?
So you
Who are you
appreciate
at the core where those things are stripped? Who is Lisa, right?
who is
And I'm
Lee?
sure, being with yourself for 5 or 6 months, you will
Ooh,
learn who that person
yeah.
is.
And I'm thinking that along the journey and completing my journey, the trajectory of my life will have shifted in some
Yes.
directions. And so that's,
Yes.
so I'm also excited about that.
So Crystal said she had to go, but she's excited about your journey. I'm sure
Oh,
she will be, following you
thank you,
as you.
Crystal. I appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you for joining us, Crystal. Cheryl, PhD, I look forward to seeing your videos. I have only been on one hike in a national park in Croatia. Okay.
Beautiful.
So this is all new to me.
Wonderful. Thank you, Cheryl.
Yes.
PhD.
Again, before you leave, please like this video if you like this chat, as Crystal and Cheryl and Thriving Enough have been engaging and bigging Lisa up on her upcoming trip.
Thank you.
Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you are a woman in transition looking to actualize your dream, which Lisa is currently doing. I think that's all the questions I have. Is there any lasting words that you want to leave with the audience here, or anyone who will be watching the replay, Lisa?
I want to say thank you to your audience. I'm super grateful for the platform to share my upcoming 2025 Appalachian Trail Thru-Hike. And I love and hike. That's how I end my videos.
Love and hike. Oh, I do have one question. Will you be doing like a fundraiser for people to help you along this journey? And if so, where can we receive that information?
Okay, so initially I applied for a minority scholarship
Okay.
for through hiking, and it's still in the works. We don't know the end result until I believe it's later in March.
Okay.
So I'll already be on my trek. If someone wants to, share or donate to me, I have a Cash App and I can leave that. It's yoga. Let me make sure I'm giving the right information. Sorry guys, let me see. Cash App. So my Cash App is Yoga with Goddess Lisa, and that was my first name on YouTube, and it's Yoga with and Goddess GODDESSLISA, and that's my Cash App if anyone would like to donate or share a gift.
Okay, repeat it, please. Yoga with Goddess what?
Lisa.
Yes,
that's my Cash App.
So I just put it in the chat. If you want to financially support this woman on her dream journey. Why am I doing this right? Okay. On this dream journey to hike the Appalachian Trail. This is her Cash App. I will also put it in the description below this video. Lisa, thank you for joining me. This was awesome.
Thank you.
I appreciate the engagement, ladies. Again, please like the video. Please share.
Yes.
In this space, we are all about encouraging, supporting, and giving inspiration to women of the African diaspora who wants to do what Lisa is doing and reaching for their dreams. So if that is you, or if that is, if you think people in your community identify with that, then please share and subscribe. Thank you for joining us. Lisa,
you.
Till next time, ladies. Bye.
Bye.